Yeah, look like okay. Yeah, right. Good afternoon, sir. Yeah, let me confirm.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, great, great. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
I'll just wait a while and see those registrants.
Okay.
I understand he was actually asking them of passcode. Okay, yours too also asked for passcode.
No, the next one you sent did not ask.
Ah, aha,
Mm,
aha.
Thank you. You
Actually,
need to.
the rest of the participants should be joining from my mentorship platform. That's where the link is.
Okay. Okay.
So, some people are very, what is common is that they are familiar with sending Zoom links. But on the portal, if you have a portal, the link is available in your dashboard.
I see.
Okay, I have Kechi Okafor. How are you? Good afternoon.
Very well.
Oh,
How was it? How was it difficult for you to also access?
It wasn't at all. I just went.
But did you join through the class link?
Yes, I did.
Aha, that's the way it is. And if you don't go through that, because no Zoom link was sent to anyone on our portal, there will always be a link to the class because we may have different classes coming up in future. Okay, I have Mr. Stephen. And oh, sorry, then Nkechi, what house is that? What company?
PSI Securities.
Oh, PSI. PSI. Great, great. I have Mr. Stephen. Yeah, if anyone is calling me now, I can't pick calls.
Mo ti padà síbi tí mo ti join, bí mo ṣe rí clean mo kàn bring clean. Àbí maybe there's no volume from there.
That's fine. Thank you. Yeah, at the same time, nǹkan pé tiwa wà
Right.
wọ́n.
Okay. Good afternoon, all. Good
Good
afternoon.
afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. How are you, sir? Okay, please, I think we will just get started right away. And I understand some people were being asked for passcodes, but really it wasn't essential. Many people are in, no passcodes requested, but then for some of those who are reaching out, getting across, we forward another distance to them. I mean, the same link to them again and a passcode. But if you are joining from the portal, you actually shouldn't be requesting for a passcode. All right. So some good time now is gone beyond 10 minutes. I gave to the startup. We may just look at 2 more minutes because of passcode issues. And in the house, I'm so happy to receive Dr. Chris Waje. Thank you very much, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody.
Right. We actually received the president of the NGX just last night. If he's not here, obviously he shared some stuff with me last night. He shared some stuff with me. He shared some stuff with me at the NGX group are having some meetings with the president, which I'm sure if he's still opportune, he would actually wish to be here. He would love to join us anywhere he may be. And I'm happy to also welcome him because if he's not in, the president of the NGX, Dr. Kwairanga, is actually maybe still be having these engagements at the villa. So we spare him. But obviously, for someone I know with his slightest minutes of his time, he wants to still join us as we continue. In the house, I'm happy to welcome Dr. Chris Waje. Dr. Thank you so very much for this honor.
Thank you very much, Amos.
Yes, I have said that in the case at hand is actually the impact to the Nigeria's capital market, which I think the ICT industry may not be looking well enough and perhaps paying enough attention to, is why I think this occasion you need to be able to witness at least perhaps for once in my almost 3 decades of activity in the niche for the country. I will perhaps just say how we can seize the opportunity to introduce Dr. Chris Waje. At the same time, he will actually give us a little description about himself. In fact, we call him the oracle of the ICT industry for any of us who are here and are of the IT industry. So you get to know that Dr. Chris Waje is actually the ICT industry oracle for, in fact, right now for Africa, because he just founded the IPv6 Cybersecurity Task Force for the entire continent. So, sir, please, just a little introduction of yourself so that we get down to our work. Thank you very much, sir. You're welcome.
Thank you very much, Amos and convener, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. And of course, with that, I also address the president of Stock Exchange in Central. It is a great honor for me to be with you here and to share a little knowledge. My name is Chris Waje, and I was privileged, very privileged to be a Nigerian and to come back home in 1995, and of course to study the landscape of what is happening. Indeed, when programs were doing his demo, I think 30 years ago or so, I was at the Stock Exchange with Tony Udo. But then I was very busy in pioneering the national policy for information technology for Nigeria, and that is during the 1999-2000 Y2K engagement. This has been able to establish government agencies, and of course, we moved there to establish the government Digital Economy Institute as it is now. So I'm very proud for what the stock exchange is doing. I'm very proud for Amos Emmanuel, a very distinguished software entrepreneur and professional who has registered his merit. And we want to believe that the job that he's doing, upgrading the software, mentoring, training people, going into the world platform with World Summit Award. He really deserves not just a merit, but a national honor, because stock exchange is one of the lifelines in the blood of Nigeria. If it collapses, we all collapse. So I want to thank each and every one of you. That's the brief introduction I want to do. For any other information you want to say about me, you probably to go to LinkedIn and of course search me on the net. Thank you very much. I'm very honored to be with you. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Dr. Chris Waje. And also to add that he was former president of the Institute of Software Practitioners of Nigeria, and of course, former president, Information Technology Association of Nigeria, ITAN. And all this he has carried all along. So while I would just also continue, like I said, the message from the president of the NGX, currently being at the event in the villa, and of course, anytime he may still join us, obviously, but then he sent me some of those information to share at the moment while the program will start. And of course, one more worrisome thing, because when I get to talk, I may not be able to have so much time. I think in the house, I have Mr. Benga Yaksin. Mr. Benga Yaksin.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, sir.
Sorry, please, if you can just briefly just attend to, because we have a situation where you are aware that
Yes, sir.
the Nigerian Stock Exchange has made some statements towards withdrawal the service for infrastructure for the capital market fixed technology that we implement in Nigeria. And as a result of this, there might be optional infrastructure platforms that my clients particularly may be interested. And I also have in the house here, even firms that are not even my clients, that are not even using my application, which I welcome all of them. And I'm particularly very happy at that, at the fact that they hear that we are doing something and they are willing to share. It does not matter what is solutions that we are sharing. What we are going to share today is a concern for the future and, of course, the readiness that this market must have. So at this moment, please, just a minute or two, share about what you think. And, of course, perhaps just leave your contact on the chat box. People will follow up. And before you get started, I just dropped a link on the chat box, and that chat box is actually the registration for the upcoming IPv6 Cybersecurity Task Force Conference for 2025. For all IT people here, please, you need to actually be conscious of the cybersecurity attention in your organizations, even for yourselves, so that the IPv6 Cybersecurity Conference is actually one place to be that you should be able to want to register. The link is actually there, and I'll just share a little more as I start my talk. Please, Jackson, you can go ahead, sir.
Thank you so much, Mr. Amos. Thank you for having me on the floor. My name is Jackson Benga. I'm the MD CEO of Gsoft Global Concept Company. So what my company does is to provide cloud services to clients within the financial services space and the stockbroking market space, really capital market space and in general. We have several clients that are currently using our service, that are in the stockbroking firms, in the stockbroking space, and they are really enjoying it.
So please, it might just be very brief, and that's why I said you can just leave your intro so that I can kick off my event. You understand, please? Thank you.
Yes, sir. So just a few more seconds, I'll leave the floor to Mr. Amos. So we partnered with Mr. Amos, programmers, to provide these cloud services to any of the clients that are really interested, and it's coming at a very discounted rate that you probably not see in the market. So like Mr. Amos said, I would leave my contacts in the chat box for anyone that wants to reach out to us directly. Thank you so much, Mr. Amos. I would hand over to you now.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for that timing so that I don't lose more than I have already. So in the chat box, I left a registration. That registration will take you to the registration for the cybersecurity that is coming up. And that's why even for the talk today, it's all about security, readiness, awareness, and the rest of it. We may not really have too much of time to begin to introduce ourselves. The house will get bigger as we go. So just permit me to get into my talk as soon as I can get. Hey. All right, I hope we can get my screen.
Yes, we can.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, well, as we've received the message from the president NGX, like I said, he might actually still join us, but then the photo was just to for me to be sure it was actually at the presidency at the time, and we will just take our time to get into. Now, the hottest of the program happening on our platform right now, the platform that you all have registered through is actually Nigeria's first artificial intelligence platform that has been incubating undergraduates of diverse course of discipline, course of study from as many universities as possible. And you will notice that that platform is bilingual. So don't mind the French, follow the English, and you'll still get to where we are today. So the active course right now is the AI boosted capital market workshop for stockbrokers. Okay, the president of the Institute of Software Practitioners just spoke, and here is actually the fuller detail about the invitation to the Africa IPv6 Cybersecurity Secure Tech Summit, which every IT person here should ensure they register and attend, because the influx, or rather the readiness of IPv6 in Africa may not be as much as several other continents, and that's the more reason why this readiness concerns is key. And of course, with IPv6, with expanded networks, it also will be coming with more security issues for which every mind needs to prepare their minds towards. So we have the president of IPv6 Global, Professor Latif, and of course, every other, the DG of NIDA will be there, and several other dignitaries and speakers. And I'll also be, handling some panel sessions, technical, some IPv6 panel sessions, and that program we actually recommend that everybody be. Now, my name is Amos Emmanuel, and I run Programmer Software. Programmer Software today might be run, and I just supervise for a couple of months and years now. And the whole idea is that we are programmers, and we are always there for what we have in the market. And the concern today is because we have nurtured, and actually we've nurtured this market for about 3 decades. So it's still of concern, things happening today and how they are unveiling. And that's why we are here. We just shared this. That was the platform where everybody had to go register on the portal there. Bilingual, just follow the English and do your French registration, and you'll still get to the class. Now, we want to look at what's changed. What is the change? What changed in the capital market? Quite a lot has actually changed in the capital market. Perhaps because of time, This program is actually an overview. Sincerely, it's actually an overview. And as a result of this, we actually will not, it's not about the content of doing a PhD in a particular course of stockbroking, particularly a full content of one topic in CIS, for some of you who want to become chartered stockbrokers, as it were. For me, it's just been a hobby. After my computer science and I had to do finance and banking, I realized that stockbroking is a very small subset of finance in itself. So, but then it's a very interesting one at that. So for any one of you that's shown interest in doing that, even just know that even the courses that you have in CIS, some of those things have already changed because every course of study and every knowledge as we speak are actually changing. Now, the entire issue about stockbroking now is that what we used to know as registrar operations have long been changing. And our business and concern is to see how we can impact these changes and ensure that our developments, our software developments, and of course, special regards to myself, my colleagues, is it Infoware, is it AdSoft, is it Global Tribe, is it, name it, the Nigerian capital market, at least for the attention of Dr. Chris Waje, the Nigerian capital market remains one major financial sector that we have never had foreign influx of software. All firms in this sector has been maintained by local and indigenous practitioners. So it's unlike banking, when most banks have gone to buy foreign systems, the Infosys of this world and the likes of it, and we still even see that even when we are going to buy this big figure dollar just for perhaps the hype, we really actually all still understand that the banking practice in Nigeria is powered by more younger people in the IT departments, because this off-the-shelf that comes with such bogus monies are never total to banking for Nigerian security and Nigerian practice, as it were. The capital market in Nigeria is total. We have been able to identify our risks, and we are working and tackling and managing our risk to the letter, and that is the difference we make. Now, the process of registrar moves, of course, we also have the finance treasury risk and the rest of them. Now, the FinCon department of every organization are actually the guardians of capital of an organization. So today, so much about something that is not human is almost replacing your work or working pari passu, working with you. We need to be able to tame our understanding and, of course, follow with what is expected and required of us. Otherwise, we will be outsmarted. And that is actually where competition now comes. Now, the other one will be looking at system administration, system and business administration. In IT, we were familiar with having to say we have system administrators in organizations. Do you know today, system administration in itself has been metamorphosed into system administrators, business administrators. So that the word system administrator, the business itself is already taking part in that system, because system is already, computing, automating business. So business administration is now almost what the hem at the end of administration has to be looking at, which sometimes we see them by way of compliance officers, by way of internal control, and the rest of it. So, okay, in our past, of course, we've had that tradition of many years in the past, even when we had our domain back then on mainland, we had activities of capital, building capacity in the market. We have not stopped doing this. And that practice will continue, and that is what we are currently still doing almost 30 years after. And we are happy that we at least can offer the service and knowledge that we know. And even at this stage, the younger generations of the Amos family are also engaged, and they are doing one thing or the other. And as you can see, we have a new chief executive. I can just run as chairman, and I've actually been supervising for some time, but most of what you get from programmers today, either in terms of feedbacks, responses, and all of that, I'm just backing up. And several other players are in different fields. Like you have the Oluwakemi Balogun, you have Dr. The women are all married and they are there, and you have the doctor. She just actually bagged a PhD from Johannesburg University in South Africa, and of course another master's same year, this year, a few months ago, from Harvard School of Medical, Harvard Medical School. Then, of course, there in Kensington University in the UK, you have Martina, you have Adebanke, you have Anita, and of course, the madam there who actually rocks and, of course, manages the entire people. So it's still the same programmers that you used to know, but we have actually evolved from not just where we are, even as humans. So our capital is our knowledge and human capital is basic and is critical to what we are doing for tomorrow. Now, when we say AI boosted stockbroking process and practice, what does this really entail? Like we said, so many things people were doing. Today, some of you are used to having to stay at home to work, perhaps a day in a week, 2 days a week. Some people are still negotiating for 3 days out of the week. While I even say the whole of the week sometimes, quite frankly, because I really don't see that you must necessarily be in a building where the corporate business is when business can move. There is nothing like that anymore. I support Stanbic SBG Securities in Accra. I can't remember that year. And they've been on Cloud Integra for almost 13 years now. Yes, just like anyone here in Nigeria, and I've not traveled to Accra in a very long while. In fact, we had to crumble to stop the business corporate office in Accra, and we support anybody 100% 247 online. And that is what the products are tending to. And even for the future, we're even seeing more things to do together remotely with more people. Now, the main areas of attention when we say AI boosted stockbroking is that your transaction and reconciliation hub, particularly for capital market today, gone are the days when trading closed like a few minutes ago or a few minutes ago, the capital market operation trading activities just closed. And shortly after that time, we are here talking. But do you know what happened to very many houses at 2:30 when the market closes? If all is well, automation is such that if our transactions were to happen by 2:30 at the close of market, it's very likely that the last transaction would have dropped. And there is no point wasting any time thereafter shifting from one department to another until 5 p.m. before we close. That's no longer the life, and that's no longer the business of tomorrow. And it's not even the main reason why you have to be competitive. There's a lot more. So more of it is your transactions. Your transactions have become very important. Then even reconciliation is also very key. So the knowledge to be able to reconcile your position and making sure that your yesterday is reconciled. It is only today you need to face is the essence of what automation that we are looking at now, and artificial intelligence is going to play a long role in this area. Then, of course, system health and compliance sector. Now, when we say administration, a lot of risks are brewing up, brand new risks. In fact, as we speak, I'm currently even attending to some brand new attacks, and we're learning a lot from these attacks. We will need to learn the attacks, tame the attacks, mitigate all the necessary risk, and of course, put the attacker to rest. That is where you can be, you yourself can be at rest, and you'll be looking for better things. So everybody and things will always attack you. And we have such records, and you'll be able to see how in this system, some of those arrangements and preparations are there. Client lifecycle management. Your business relationship with customers matter a whole lot. In fact, in one of my fixed trading community sessions in New York or any of the fixed trading community events that I've always attended, they will always tell you that the investor's interest is paramount. It is not the customer, it's not the service provider. What is it that the customer says satisfies him? That even when you are doing systems development, that is what you must make sure that you protect. Then you also have client-powered client support desk. Somebody has to relate with someone to bring in the next business. Businesses don't just get created. Never. So the first part being the reconciliation matter, you really need to be on top of your game to ensure that as business closes today, something should almost like consolidate everything that has happened and bring into a window for you. What we call, what we call the post-trade, post-trade reconciliation and correctional dashboard that brings the entire template of what has happened today, and you'll be able to see your the total figures in terms of, and of course, your net settlements, which you can now compare with what your central securities clearing system gives to you as what you need to settle, which many houses have not been taking this very seriously. So we have actually tried to see how we can simplify, but at the same time, make perfect your end of day and post trades, because this is very critical. We have realized that your day's transactions are now growing. In fact, your trades have moved from days you just do 20 lines of trade, 50 lines of trade. Today, we record 700 lines, 800 lines. We will be hitting 1,000, 2,000 per day. So even sometimes we are also looking at the stage and the speed of processing so that it can be impact quantum processing. We can't now be doing it one by one any longer. So we are now beginning to see how your clients are piece of objects with interests, concessions, the love of stocks, what they want, their sites, are they buying, are they selling? And by the time we have all this, by the time we just take one process, we can do an impact computation, and you almost can get your 1,000 contract notes, 1,000 notifications just in one stamp or bang, than we waiting for things to process. So things are actually going to shift and change. But of all these, technologies will matter. And we will also share in the workflow that even within Integra, a lot of other additional workflows are now being redesigned to help all of this. Now, from a technical support point of view, we really do not have any business playing in any of your internal transactions. And that is one thing I do say, that if by end of day, the company does not have the interest of its data at heart, too bad. Today, your data is the business. Your data is not technology. Sincerely not. Separate the two. Your business data is actually of the business. Technology is just by the side. Technology is just what we need to do to ensure that your data delivers better information to you as the business owner. So a lot of clear-cut analysis and processes are now being reviewed, so that under the method 1, that will take care. Then under the model 2, where the health of the system, the compliance center, where you need to make sure that you are you conform with what is required anywhere in the world. So we need to be able to give you certain information where IT and compliance officers can ensure that all systems are secure, updated, and running optimally. This is the time when you have outsourced hosting, and what is left is just the software. What if in some organizations, you have the hosting, you have the software? Basically, banks are the only people that can afford that. And that's why you have the banks, the likes of IBTC, Zenith Bank, and the likes of them, who also play in the capital market. So they all have ICT infrastructure, either owned by them or outsourced to some other place. But most of the time, any bank today needs to have its data center, and that's actually what happens. So the compliance center and the systems health matters a whole lot for the organization, and you need to be on top of this, particularly for the IT personnel that runs each of these organizations. Then even within that area, there is actually a flow that makes you not lose track of what you must do in the new dispensation, because it won't be about man. Machines will be doing many of these things that we're talking about. You just need to be able to move your capability in terms of knowledge, improve your knowledge, and be able to play. Otherwise, you'll be set and pushed aside. Yes, systems will run. Now, in the module 3, client's life cycle manager, you see, people obviously are not involved in many processes. Like I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on WhatsApp. Do you know sometimes I get notifications by a bot, by an AI agent? Sometimes the way they push the statement, if you're also not knowledgeable, you may not even know that they are not humans. So people are already becoming very intelligent because bots are being trained. They've trained a lot of people to be able to think from a stockbroking point of view, a stockbroking bot can be able to deliver what any one of you who is very intelligent, and of course the workforce quality is high, either in finance, whether in registrar, or whether in the trading aspect of stockbroking, so that aspect of it will be, so you just be preparing your mind as to doing this alongside with a machine capability. And in this area, there's also a process designed alongside all of that. Now, the other is about the customer and client support, because to be able to support customers, that wouldn't mean you need to know all your customers, put them in your head. No, you need to begin to now build systems that makes you get in touch and close to your customers. Now, how would you even know that some customers are the ones generating your highest turnover, your highest revenue, for instance, your brokerage, for instance? That's why within this period going to the last quarter of this year, you may want to know which of your customers within 2025 has done so well that you can just please write a letter, sir. Please, can you just pay us a visit, or expect us to visit you? You can actually pay a courtesy visit to wherever such a customer is at his location or office, and you are going there to deliver a brand new car. It picks the key of the car. It becomes very happy. But guess what? Your data informed you that this customer has done XYZ digits of amount of turnover, and of course your income generated out of this is XY so amount, and of whatever you've done in the year, this customer sets you. It stands out. So how would you want to play or toy with such a customer? These are the level of intelligence that artificial intelligence will come to play. And there are many things now available that this can happen. They will be happening by side services. And of course, some of you who have these intellectual capabilities can begin to build these things internally to help your organization. That is why today, an average bank is creating a fintech organization arm. If they do not have it, they are soon to run into problems, because if they do not have people they trust, organization that they trust, relating with external people may not be readily easy, or perhaps also covered. Like, for instance, intellectual property is very important, especially if the bank is the one originating the intellectual property for the fintech creation. So it's very important that they are also part of the ownership or close to it. Otherwise, they can be, played with. Right. And in that area, we also have built processes that goes a long way to simplify all that. And this also helps your thinking, even in our development, as well as the lifestyle of managing and serving customers under that kind of platform. So, going there, as it were, we try to see how, if the evolving landscape brought about you having to know your customers. Like I said, customers are very, very important. Now, because you have to know your customers, in the application, we will now begin to see what is new. Where is it? So that's why under the GL, under the administration area, you can now see a better, analytics on your users. You can better understand how your users are logging to you. You can even better understand your hackers. Yes. Please, hackers will never stop. Like we said, IPv6 is coming. We need to plan ahead. We need to even be more prone to ensuring that we are ready for anyhow attacks. Like I said, I am key. I am actually a point person that people want to attack. And guess what? My platforms are very ready and acceptable to having them, because we want to learn from the attacks. And by the time you take them up to the point where you can manage whatever it is they are doing, that is the only thing that you want to see. Otherwise, the man at the other end wants to see you down. And that can't happen if you know what you are doing. If you are panicking, panic does not solve crisis. And that is the word here. Now, we've also improved better task analysis. You are doing one thing or the other. How do I analyze what task is available? The system does internal task analysis, what happens on a daily basis, and will be able to do a proper charting for your decision making internally. Then, of course, approvals. Sorry for the P there, it's double P. Approvals of processes are now becoming commonplace. Most of us have open door practice. a customer comes in, he posts a kobo, it goes straight into the GL. Now, the better approach is that you need to put approval stops. We call this dual control in the application. Under dual control, which is policy-based, if you can activate your policy that we want dual control, then you can now say dual control on what activity? One, the riskiest is that somebody's account is getting credited. You can imagine an account all of a sudden this money is taking 2 million. How, where, which bank was it lodged? And if some concerns begin to rise. And based on this, we need to subject such to what we call a dual control or simple, sometimes we will say maker checker. So if you do not have this kind of principle as an organization, it does not help you, quite frankly. And at the same time, you also need to have the right workforce. If I have one person in the accounts department, then it's not easy for me to put up a policy that segregates tasks. Oh, I head of FinCon, account officials, and so person. When there are many, yes, you can put up tasks. But then if it is just one, then what we need is one man show, and what you need is a super user who does practically everything. And you cannot adopt these processes. So you need to move away from this for your organization and begin to see how, if you post a deposit, somebody somewhere has to update, give an approval before such accounts are updated. If I open a new account, somebody somewhere has to give approval before it hits the database. If you post a credit note, a debit note, it could be inter-account transfer or any other kind of thing, you have to visit. You need to be able to get somebody to give an authorization. Okay. So more to that is that we also have, okay, so we mentioned suspicious tracking. Yes, people want to log you. Yeah, they want to log you. Sometimes through mobile, they want to log you through web. We're able to analyze all those things and are able to get results that we can say that these accounts came in through here, which is just fine. But then if it's in a very irregular pattern, we can actually track that and we'll be able to set that, which even at this moment, we have one particular case that we're handling, and that is the situation. Then, of course, what other thing is new? You now have a new account maintenance module. I'm just trying to share with you now some of the new things that you're going to find, because by the end of this month, being just this weekend, we are going to give some of these updates so that you do not say you do not, things changed and you are not aware. Your account maintenance previously will be there, but you're going to have newer ones. And this newer one is the one that we hope to interface with CSCS so that you can have your CSCS IP API implemented. So that's why this is actually something that is new on the application. Then, of course, for concessions have become very, very critical that we manage them with some attention. Now, concession can be by way of investors investing in equity. It could be that they are investing in the NESD class, or they are investing in bonds, sometimes in ETFs, growth, or commodities. Now, you need to be able to set those brackets. You need to be able to set those concessions so that when transactions happen, the system will be able to know what to do. And it's very easy that you can come here, set this, and you can also within graphical whatever, see a kind of grid of all the history of concession that you have set, because it's not just one record, it could be historical. Then your KYC that we talked about, your KYC is more analytical. Do you know that? The market currently is still very shallow, still very, very shallow. If you really want to adopt KYC, then your KYC rules need to be top notch. If I say that customer A must have 80% of our score, because each of the requirements that you put together has to be scored. Does he have a driver's license? Does he have the means of identification? Has he filled the opening form? Now, has he sent in the utility? So each of these things you score, and you can have like 100%. In some organizations, if you do not have 100%, you are not KYC compliant. If we enforce this policy from software as a must. Every house will be dumped. They will not be able to operate. That is the list. That's what I can say. So this is where you need to now get back to your data and begin to polish up, get their biometrics, get the necessary things about every customer, and try to enforce policy that makes your work more secure. Right. Now, of course, if that happens, I'm able to know through graphical charts of KYC non-compliant people. This is my total score, maximum possible, and the compliance, rating that for a particular customer. And you'll be able to tell you who are compliant. Global, compliance statistics, and compare you, and you just realize that you are still at the lowest ebb because you are never near being compliant. And of course, I won't blame this. I can also blame, moves and things coming from the regulation, because I really don't see much of this, quite frankly. Then, more of this to happen. I'm trying to see how at this point we can just stop a bit. I'll take a few questions, and maybe I now can go into application. Right, at this point, please, may I know if anybody has a question? Has a word? Anybody, any house? Otherwise, I'll call you. I can call Mr. Kainde Balogun. Please unmute. Kainde Balogun, kindly unmute. If I may ask.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Mr. Balogun. How are you? If I may ask.
I'm fine, sir.
Out of 100%, what level of, do I say KYC compliance, adoption, would you say? Okay, if not you, what do you think could be the average of the entire market? Based on what you do, what you know, let me not say it's specifically you, because I think I got a call from your chairman yesterday, and I was particularly very interested. And being that it's also coming from the point of, it was a regulator, it was former DG of SEC. So this area is very critical. I want to know, what do you think is the rate you want to put on the market? Is the market very well, very excellent, of 0 or 1 to 100? What do you think the position of our level of compliance is, KYC wise?
On the level of compliance for KYC, because of some development, I think if I will say, I would say it's about 80%, not up to 100. Because some clients, you ask them to give you this before they can even provide it. It takes too long, and they want to trade, they want to join you. So there's some basic thing that they need to bring. They will not be able to provide it at the time.
Yes.
It takes time. So I can just say 80%, not 200.
Okay.
Market. No.
Okay. Maybe let me just take one more. Any more? Somebody, your hands up. Let me get another point, another view. 100%. Where do we think this market is? KYC compliance.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, sir. Can you hear me?
Very well. Very
my
well.
name is Ime Umana, and I'm from MBC Securities Limited.
Excellent. Yes.
Okay, so basically from my own end, I think where we are currently, of course, we are doing our best to ensure that we curb all forms of excesses in the market, to ensure that we have a very smooth running of our business, so to say, in the capital market. So I would say from my experience and a couple of things that have been happening in the market, that if I want to give a rate or a percentage rate to our KYC standard here in Nigeria, I mean, in terms of global performance and all of that, I would say we are, to be conservative, I can say we are 65%. Because for me, the position I expect the capital market to be at right now is just to ensure that at the tip of our fingers, we should be able to access a couple of all of these asset classes, so to say. I mean, the slide you've shared so far really gives a proper insight as to how we want the market to, view our access to trades and all of that. So we are not far from, I won't say perfection. At least we are still closer, but I'll tell you, we are not there yet. For percentage sake, I'll just say we are maybe 65% or 70% close.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my take. Thank you.
Thank you. I think I have the oracle of the IT industry.
Thank you very much. And first of all, let me congratulate you for this excellent presentation. My intervention is just how do we improve the standard of KYC, all right, in order that it can be measurable. So my own intervention will be, why don't we, or how many of the stock exchange players have best customer of the year award? Okay, so if we want to improve the KYC, let us establish the best 10 customers award, and they have some criteria, time of the response, the feedbacks and all what's not that can take. So you can augment this within your data to be open standard, and you can justify that these 10 customers are the best respondents, are the best reliable. That improves the other people, and the token gift you are going to give to them, will really be measurable within the improvement of your annual returns, because it will show. So that's just my intervention. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, sir. I think that is actually, from that point of view, something that makes people closer to even the word KYC, because we all speak KYC as if it's English language, but then you see, it's an activity, it's beyond us. It's now part of the system, it's part of what we do, and as such, is no longer that piece of item that we only see that it is. But then the policy that is to drive has to just be in place. That policy that should drive it just has to be in place. That policy is such that if, as an organization, we don't even put these policies in place, there's a problem. Now, let me also say that we all, by the MOS, minimum operating standard, should have the compliance department. And I do know that the compliance department, or the compliance officers, may not necessarily have to appear in the office with like police-looking police uniforms for them to appear as people who should really be watching over what we do and perhaps plugging something somewhere when things go wrong. So I want to also relate this with the level of compliance that is still very shallow in the country, very, very shallow. So that it is actually when policies are in place and the compliance is driving on that. From automation, we'll try our best to confirm that things happen. We get surveillance triggers from the application currently, but to our knowledge and surprise, these things are never responded to. Take, for instance, the market started in the morning, it ended by 2:30. Between that market life, a couple of things could happen, and there are triggers that are being triggered to the compliance department, but we realize that these departments are not, one, efficient, or they are not active to consume or attend to the issues. Take, for instance, we get one-way trades that come to process itself into the application, and it found out that this item is not in the software. It notifies the organization, the body, saying that this may likely create a showstopper, because your account will be out of balance by 2, 3, 4 transactions that were not processed at that market time or that market life cycle. So, and as such, your financial settlement will be out of balance by those issues. So because you got that note and nobody paid attention to enforcing that policy, or so that the department concerned go to do what they must necessarily do, then it could be that at the end of the day, this is the reason why many things are still low and they are not coming up as they are supposed to be. So this is some of the concern I want to share there. And I want to seize this opportunity to share more from the application before we get into general discussions a little further. And this time around, I have stopped the presentation. I want to go, let me just once again, share for the rest of us who were not here that chairman of the NGX group actually has sent in his visitation to the presidential villa, and as such may be the reason he may not be here with us immediately. And if he can still reach us before the end of this session, why not? He's glad that, and of course, a message is also there that Dr. Chris Uwaje, the president of Institute of Software Practitioners, ISPON, is already here, and we're happy that he's here for this event with us. Thank you. I will now continue to share go into the presentation. I'll go into the presentation briefly. Oh, sorry, no, not to the presentation. I just want to go into the application. I hope, okay, it allows me. Okay, great, right. So I'm just here now, for instance. Now, part of the post-trade things we talked about in theory are now getting to the application, is that I'm working currently from the Cloud Integra certification portal, which is the test environment, for which every house has the liberty to nominate 1 or 2 personnel to go for courses. Most of us just think products and course trainings are not important. Training are key. This portal serves, in fact, thousands of students across Africa. And that's why that portal was put in place. It's still evolving. And of course, anything artificial intelligence is what actually will impact students from universities and of course their teachers. So that it's not just about the students, because when we do that between teachers and students, people can have like a more departmental engagement that makes them to be able to create digital services and digital products rather than getting to their final year and they're just giving them a degree. Students should, going forward, own a degree as well as a certificate of incorporation of a digital venture. This is the standard of what this is all about, because AI is a leveler and it has actually given everybody the opportunity to turn its professional content into the job that brings food to the table. So, okay, at this point, we see that from our post-trade analysis, there's so much that we can get. You know, you can know and measure your daily performance in terms of total risk, what has happened, has your trades processed, has it not processed? Now, breakdown of revenues generated and all of that, and a point when, for today, for instance, that market has closed, I should be able to know my total, my net settlement for purchase, my net settlement for sales, and the net difference. That difference should be what my CSCS certificate should tell me. So I do not know why any organization should close and go home when this has not balanced with CSCS. I do not know. Or at worst, first thing in the morning before the new market. I don't know. Do you know why? If any figure here differ by 1 kobo, it means that at least one customer has a deficiency in his account. So it's a complete control thing. And by the time you have your net difference in here, the accounts department should also see that this difference is what they saw in their bank actual book, and that they can now post it into your own account, that the integral net operation should be 0 every day. The reason why we have to make this more graphical is that maybe people don't want to do any work anymore, but let's even bring it to you. This looks like a blackboard of what has happened today. If it is how many trades, I should know. Because it will tell you the total purchases, it will tell you the total trades, and all in terms of the mathematics of the finance, you see everything, whether for purchase sides or for sales side, and the difference as it is. And this should compare with, it should compare. In fact, if I may ask specific question, please, because there's something I want to solve here. Please, do I have anyone from Foresight here? Foresight, do I have Mrs. Adebite from Foresight in the house? Just unmute. And I may not know of who else. I may not know of who else. But why I call this name is that there is this religious reconciliation of the trading bank on a daily basis, that if there's a couple difference, I know somebody is somewhere to spot and it should be put to rest. And if we remember early in the year, there were some distortions when we got the news. That news was never circulated, that SMS alerts changed from 4 naira to 10 naira. I don't know who can confirm this. Can anybody confirm this? Can somebody confirm this? Just your voice, please. Unmute and talk. SMS alerts was changed from 4 naira to 10 naira. Anyone? Is my sound okay?
We can hear you clearly, sir.
Okay, please, then you can talk, please. I mean, you have this market. You have this market. They changed 4 naira to 10 naira. Somebody here, can somebody confirm? You see, this kind of information, and many people didn't know. There was no circular to this effect. And for me, I will always want to see that there's a circular. But guess what? This lady was able to detect that this problem existed, and we shared across many people, and nobody got to know. But guess what? Your books has changed in terms of the settlement figures that you were all getting. And guess what? Everybody kept mute. That's the worrisome thing, the worrisome part. Now, and it got to a stage. This guideline also changed. They returned from 10 naira to 4 naira. And up till today, it's like the market is still in confusion. This is chaos. All right, sir. Oracle, your hand.
I think from the software perspective, when we do the drill line also, those changes must be captured into an alert. A red alert will be blinking to prompt the decision makers that this change has occurred and they must follow up. Because the data conclusions demands that when there's an anomaly, it must be flagged. Okay, so thank you.
Right, sir, but then this error is even coming from the regulators. That's the problem. Yes, they changed. There was no information, but as I'm talking to you, daily reconciliation, efficient daily reconciliation of trades was spotted, and we had to nib it at that point. And the market wasn't even aware, and people couldn't even know that the mathematics of their financial balancing has changed, just because the hands and capacity to do these jobs are not doing those jobs. And this is very critical, that we need to respond and, of course, be able to engage these regulators to this for that correction. Because I'm sure up till today, we still have some people run at 10 naira and some people still run at 4 naira, and now become as if it's something of choice. And we are ordinarily here, IT companies, unless I see a guideline is where I'll swave to either side. Because when this happened, we wrote everybody, and you are yet to even respond to what is the real thing. Unless a few who have maintained is at 10 naira, and that is still status quo. So I think this is very important, that is because this actually affects, don't forget that we say that it is the clients that you maintain. It is their interest that matter the most in all these discussions. It's not about you. Okay. So that's why this will give you a granular picture. If it was SMS alert that had the problem, everybody should know on a daily basis. And we're going to give everybody this update. And I think we'll get the right information from people so that you will know for how long you have been charging the wrong thing, and when you think you need to shift to do the right thing. Because what is right is exactly what reconciles with the other interbodies within the ecosystem. That is what we need to do. So going forward, we'll now be able to see all our trade slip tables are rejected. If there are rejected issues, everything will be clear and you will know what is the problem. So if I have things pending in the orders management system, you have it under the order execution and analytics area. And if you have people to change, we are going to remove something we call the trade pullout. Because if your yesterday was good, I do not see the reason why anyone to go back to yesterday or go back to 2 days ago or go back to last month or not to talk about months back or, and things like that. So your reconciliation should be that you monitor on a daily basis and get your issues sorted out in a day or two. And this smart post-trade analytics board will help any house. So, and the idea recently, we've been having issues. Yes, we've been having issues with connectivity with the exchange. And we have spoken to everybody that this is actually not coming from our software. But then things haven't, recently, like I said, Friday, it got better. I'm just watching that. Because to be frank with you, it's even better now, right now. It was very bad. That for days, we may not even be connected. For days, may not even be connected. But at least since Friday, it got better, but it's not still perfect. It's not okay yet. But we've shared this with many people at the NGX group in case you have people there to help out. They need to be able to listen that if they do not change anything at their end, we do not have the right to go begin to toy with and tweak our software because we have run this process for several years and we never have a problem with this. We have clients running remotely from Jos Plateau. We have clients running remotely from Kaduna. So they have major concern to us. To some people, out of that vexation they sometimes get, they will just quit their building and stroll into Broad Street. And hey, Custom Street we are. And they are beginning to trade on the trading floor because of the OMS connectivity issues. We've seen many of this. And this has persisted. And we just want to know how and what is happening. So this is the bitter truth. I've had people have called on WA. We've met severally with the other software guys. Is it AdSoft, Infoware? We've related and shared experiences. What we have is common. And why I say I have connectivity issue is if I do my problem, even if it's about sending time accuracy, if it does not stem, if I have that, then that means that my connection has a problem. So it's not out of place or out of language. And that shouldn't be the reason and basis why somebody is saying, if I have one problem, perhaps Infoware is having another. And we have come to terms, we've shared our reports, and we have been able to come to terms with the fact that it's a common challenge. And I think what should be more important is that we should address it because we get a whole lot of hits back from the clients at this present time, which is not very okay. There's no time for better things. We're just having to go back and be watching trading terminals that we never have to be doing over how many years now since the fixed technology started in Nigeria. So several other things around here that I wanted to share with you will be part of their implementation, but I want to just create that little time for us to interact. And please, one other area I wanted to also talk about here is in the area of corporate action. Corporate action. Corporate action is very, very essential. This major ingredient of people's wealth portfolios. A customer whose stock position is unknown, is unrealistic, could be that, had there been a bonus issue? Have there been like information about dividend? Have there been maybe stock splits? Is it the stock split? Is it the reverse splits? You know, so or the way what you simply just put as reconstruction. If these things happen and they are not effective in Cloud Integral right now, all these managements are all in place. So like I say, additional trainings for any departmental person will be able to put all this to rest, and you have that training and ability and knowledge to be able to ensure that these processes are handled the right way in the organization. Now, look at the accounts. I was to also share that in the accounts, just a little more time, that there is actually something new also there that simplifies almost everything that anybody has been doing in the accounts department. Now, if I go to the accounts department, where we create journals, we actually create journals as accounts officers or as accounts department people. So there are a little changes in there because we have collapsed journal entry. We have collapsed general ledger receipts and general ledger PVs into one program, which is very graphical. It gives you the total data for each day. It gives you the total data for each day just within your straight screen. And that makes your job a lot smarter. So in that area, because why I want you to see your data is that we want this data to talk to you very soon. You know, we want more of this data. Before now, a lot of data everywhere, but data isn't talking to us. And this is the era of artificial intelligence. Do you know with data, so much you can drive? You know, as you are raising your journals in here, whether you are raising the GLPV, journal entry, GL receipt, GLPV, and everything drops, your total debit credit has to be total. Everything drops in lines in here. You can delete, you can do anything, but everything you do, you can see today's activities. You can see this week's activities. You can see this month's activities. But for some organizations whose data is so large, we will give this to a different place because when data is large, this place will be affecting your daily activity because of size of data that it will be loading. So it will give you a dashboard that you can request for them, but it is important that we are able to manage what we do. And one other thing is that before now, we do what we call inter-account transfer. And I want to add now, you can now do reversal for inter-account transfer. Before now, we didn't permit it. But of course, the inter-account transfer you do will be subjected to dual control because, fine, I posted, I want to reverse. Even that reversal, somebody somewhere has to be in charge. Let's take more comments. And I think at this point, I'll be very happy to relate with as many of you that may want to take specialized courses in different departments relating with this in the area of artificial intelligence. Because if you go to innovationbedai.dat, you'll be able to see the tracks of what we've done, and we still run many programs across universities. Now we are taking it to our area of business niche, and we want to see how you can also take advantage of this. Thank you so much, Mr. Oracle. Sir Oracle, sir.
So much, our distinguished stockbroker emeritus, our cousin, because giving us a grade and what we need. Just from the overview, we're really talking about data.
That's right.
Data clusters, data intersections,
That's right.
and of course, the ability to define objectives and realize the goal.
Yes.
Now, I want to ask, from this portfolio, do we have intertwined data experience dashboard where at the close of day, each client registers what they have experienced, because these are coming, at microseconds experience. They can dish it so that we can classify them either as infrastructure on this end, either it is human efficiency or software ability. So once the software is stable, because people don't understand that the software rides on the backbone of different intersections of infrastructure. Even with the solidity of the software, infrastructure themselves also have to be solid. And I think what we are experiencing now is, if I have time, because I need to go for my next call, I will drill down about the imperative of retooling the stock exchange through IPVC's infrastructure. They're currently running on IPv4, just like our telecoms and all
That's
what's
right.
not, but it will be a synergy that we handshake of migration from IPv6 to IP. And going forward, because you made a very instructive observation within the concept of national software utilization, which affects our data sovereignty. There has to be a policy from government that dictates that in the next 24 months, banking application must use Nigerian software. It's not a rocket science. We
That's right.
have those solutions. Okay?
That's
There
right.
are Nigerians that are even in diaspora that are developing or has markets in other global environment that we don't even recognize. If we synergy and partner with them, that is what India is doing. All right? They come in there, they bring the software, but the maintenance and everything is a multicast thing, and they can do it. So if we have that, say 24 months, retool into national indigenous software, I can bet you that banks will comply. So I think those are some of the things. Sometimes the banks will not be blamed. And I tell you what, from the grapevine, there are applications that are developed here indigenously and exported or packaged out and imported as foreign software in disguise. Just to get
of course we had a record on that because
so I think we need to look at it, and it's a holistic thing. So if we have this customer complaint dashboard, it will help us move to navigate, and it will be a database of ensuring that we are really talking to the point, because the client is the ultimate beneficiary. Thank you, sir.
I appreciate it. Thank you so very much for that contribution. Yes, I'll take those notes, and particularly about the local thing. We really don't think the government can put up policies. Mainly have been on paper. The capital market in Nigeria have only sincerely had a great opportunity where some Nigerians at their early stage took interest and were doing something. Like I, for one, started with my Integra 2000 plus software when it was then client server and not online. And I could remember at that time, my first year, okay, when the ATS started in 1997, we had already had like 19 clients that we actually was using us as at that time. But it was client server architecture. You have to get into Broad Street, enter everybody's office, and talk to bend down. Is the server up? Is the server off? So that was the way the support used to be like. And in fact, even to be in Kano, because of Standard Union and monuments in Kano, sometimes I've missed my flight to go into Kano and I've had to jump onto Kaduna and had to now go by road. So it was hellish. But today we do far more virtually. So it's a whole lot of experience that we too have had. Like I said, the local and indigenous players who have actually been party to this development in the market actually saw the market, because as a financial expert, finance and banking person as I was, the need for capital market was just something very simple, which was even my research project. And I used that. I left after computer science, I went to do finance and banking. I've written my software in my final year in finance and banking, and that was what started my software, which is the goal around every young mind in school today, or even graduates. You need to create it. Where's the job? You can't see it unless the job you create today. So I think this is just the kind of narrative we will begin to see about the productivity. We just need to be more productive. But for government to say they should buy this, I know bankers won't do that. They still want to spend that money. And they are happy spending that money that they would never want to spend on the local. But we are doing that very gradually, and we're of course taking our place as it were. Unfortunately, I don't have my other colleagues in here, but they have maybe one of these days who will be able to take some more of the other developers in this market who are also handling capital market to also know that there's so much for us to contain, particularly for Nigeria, not even any other African country, except Egypt, that shares something close to the risk that we manage in Nigeria. And this is just given to the kind of type of passion that we also give. Let me take words from the houses, please. Please just let's unwind. Let us let's talk to each other now. Can we, if you can leave your camera, let's take a photograph. And I still expect your comments, please. Any house? Your words of advice? Okay, I'll be calling on Mr. Stephen. Mr. Stephen, sir. Mr. Stephen, you can unmute yourself, sir.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Your word? Any word? Any comments?
Well, my major comment is to focus on data for customer satisfaction. That's something very important. I believe that I was happy with that. So for that, I'm actually going to do on this. Much backing. It's very, very pleasing to see the project.
Sorry. Okay, that voice wasn't too clear. Or voice. Okay, great. Any other comments? Mr. Oluwafemi, sir. Mr. Oluwafemi.
Afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. Happy to have you, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Amos. I really enjoy your presentation from MBC Security.
Excellent.
So I think we've spoken a couple of times.
Excellent.
I want to commend you for the job well done. Though maybe one way or the other we have challenges, and when we reach out to you, try to come in to survey the situation.
Very well.
So we hope
very
you
well.
keep it on.
Very well,
Thank
sir.
you very much.
I appreciate it.
Yes.
Thank you so very much. Let me have one more. Please, let's what's it called? Unmute yourself. Your camera. Let's talk. You can use the raise the hand button. Let's get your what's your take? What's your take about that talk? Like I said, this is just an overview, and the actual classes are there that houses can nominate people. Oh, let me see my friend again. Okay, please. Yeah, Joy Onuchi, right? Hello, Joy. Unmute yourself. What house?
Hello, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Yes, sir. This is Joy from NBC Security.
Oh, NBC. Excellent. Yes. Thank you very much. Thanks.
Yes, sir. Not too much from me. Just wanted to commend your
great.
efforts.
Thank you.
And the lecture so far.
I appreciate.
Yes,
Thank you. I have some people from. Okay, Precious Ayebum. Precious. Okay. Let me take Taiwo Oladipo. Taiwo Oladipo. Let's know your house.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
yes. Okay,
good
Precious,
afternoon,
yes.
sir.
Precious, yes. Which house?
This is Taiwo. Okay.
Sorry, I was muted.
Oh, sorry. 1 minute, I will come to you. Precious, go ahead, please.
From PSI Securities, no comment.
Excellent, PSI. Great. What happened to you people? You were on Integra many years ago. How is the MD?
This is fine. I'm doing well.
Excellent, excellent. Mr. Taiwo Saladipo.
Yeah. Thank you very much. This is Taiwo Oladipo from MBC Securities
Oh,
Limited.
great. Excellent, excellent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you for the session. At least very commendable. And thank you for responding to all our issues all the time.
But
no. We're still expecting more improvement from your side, sir.
Very well, of course, yes. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I so appreciate you guys. Let me hear from Said. Hello, Said. Mr. Fred. Yeah, Mr. Fred. Mr. Fred. That's a compliance officer. Please, can you show your face? Are you in police uniform? Mr. Fred. If I actually want to talk to more of the compliance people here. Mr. Fred, unmute yourself. Before I take Mr. Kolawole. Mr. Kolawole, unmute yourself. Yeah, Mr. Martins. Good afternoon,
Mr.
sir.
Amos, what are you saying? Good afternoon, sir.
Don't tell me you just came in. I like talking to latecomers. I needed your word.
No, I'm not a latecomer. I was there before you.
Okay.
I was there before you.
Oh, great.
And I participated.
Okay, great. Thanks. I need more. Okay, Yusuf. Mr. Yusuf Toji? Mr. Yusuf Toji?
Who is Yusuf?
No, not you now. Mr. Yusuf Toji?
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. How do you do, sir?
Fine, thank you. This is from Express Portfolio Services, sir.
Excellent. Yes, I can see Mrs. Benson too. How do you see the session?
Thank
Were
you
you
very
in?
much.
Did you come in on time?
It's okay, sir. For now, we don't have comment yet.
I was busy writing the name of noisemakers.
Mr. Martins, thank you. No, I don't need prefects today, please. I don't need prefects. Thank you, Mr. And the women, where are the women? Okay, I have one. Okay, Mr. Kainde, your final word, comments. Oh yeah, I can see Busola. I'll come to you. Kainde, Balogun. 1 minute. Okay, 1 minute. Okay. Let me just take your final words, sir. Dr. Chris Waje, sir.
Thank you very much. And my apologies, I was like running out to another meeting.
Excellent. We're rounding up. We're rounding up now too. If your final word, yes.
All the great minds out there. I've seen all the interventions of Steve, Joel, Abdullah, all these eminent personalities there. My message is for us to carry on this revolution of the mind. Okay, Nigeria is the powerhouse of Africa. So when we do this, we should always remember that we carry a lot of challenges on our shoulders. The crisis that we have is just built of data chaos, because not only because of the population, but because of all other intersections. So we should be able to add more value into what we do. And moving forward, we're all champions of technology, at least from the emotional intelligence point of view. we want to make sure that things can get better. Let's we look at the farming tools our great-grandfather used and what we are using today, the clothes we are wearing today and what they wore, the houses we are living today and the ones they live in. And of course, that enables us to look at the future of what's going to happen, the sub-region. So we must leave our footprint to ensure that we can contest whatever challenges that come. My theme today is about the digital migration to digital promise. It's about the internet protocol. When we look at the evolution of the landscape of digital, it goes state by state. And migration of data is growing in quantum layers, and we need to ensure that we have the enabling infrastructure that can do that. You ask yourself why company I won't mention with lesser population from a country being the champion of backbone interconnectivity for a country like us, who we have bailed out those challenges in their country, but they are developing, and of course, they are providing us with a backbone. Imagine if that country that is just switch off their infrastructure. What next for us? So, having said that, we also looked at it from a global perspective. All right? Cloud computing is here, but cloud computing really is a challenge that needs indigenous domestication, indigenous capacity building, and data centers and organization. As we are talking with this platform, all the data are going out of the country and coming back to us. And that is money. Data is the new gold. We should have our own indigenous messaging and meeting platforms that we can use local data to be able to navigate. And that saves us a lot of money that we can put into education and all that stuff. So my thing and my advice is that we should at least be at the planning stage of retooling the stock exchange from legacy system to a new version. Internet Protocol version 6 is the layer, because we're talking about addressing system. And the IPv4 was not designed to shoulder all the data addressing system that comes in, be it with IoTs and all that. So, but today, we have the opportunity of retooling early enough to ensure that we can get in, especially with the stock exchange. The stock exchange will benefit from this quantum leap because the quality of service, the trading platform is a sporadic efficiency, nanosecond and millisecond operation. And then when what we experience sometimes will not be due to probably a prominent base of software, but there are many infrastructure layers, switches, radios, and all what's that are there. And of course, the backbone that is coming, not to talk about electricity. So when we are saying that we can really look at the roadmap to have an architecture, to have Internet Protocol version 6, because version 4 is done, as it were, and not only migrating to version 6, you have to migrate further to version 6 only, IPv6 only, which is coming, because when people are talking about AI and quantum, you can't use IPv4 to quantum. You have to go to IPv6 only, okay, so that we can have all this multiplexer and to be able to have that quality of service, especially for the stock exchange. There has to be a special fund allocated to retool the stock exchange infrastructure and compel all the traders and players to plug in and to be IPv6 compliant. We are at the African IPv6 cybersecurity task force, and we have seen through studies that most of the attacks that are coming into the cyber environment is really optimized by IPv4 porous gateway. So we need to be able to be conscious of how these things are going to work. And when we deploy that infrastructure, we should not forget about capacity building. You need to build new capacity to be able to have that skill to migrate and to stabilize all those things. I'm sure that NCC knows what we're talking about because the IPv6 environment has been on for quite a long time. But our nation is still lagging behind, far behind in that migration. So those issues, as we say, stock exchange is a live wire for the economy, and not only for the economy, for national security. And all national security environments should be retooled to be IPv6 compliant. And that's why we are having all this African-wide IPv6 cybersecurity conference that comes up on the 9th of September. I'm sure the link can be shared. It will benefit participants here to register, to come and hear great speakers from all over Africa and Asia and the world on how the real quantum aspect is going to happen. The infrastructure backbone that needs to be there, the readiness of capacity building, and to ensure that we can secure, those proprietary works that we have, like the programmers software, so that at the end of the day, these things can be secured. Going forward, I want to also, while thanking you, to bring you on board to advocate for the establishment of a National Stock Exchange Academy, okay? To create a trading platform at the kindergarten level with toys that they can play with cowries that they can trade. This is when we can build the resilience of the future of the economy. It's not just about certification, but as we know, all the people that are here are skilled people. They know their onions, and they must be able to be responsive at the microseconds or milliseconds intervention of their institution. So I want to thank you immensely. Come to our conference and learn more about the IPv6 that is being driven by Africans. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much, Dr. Chris Waje. Thank you so very much. And I'm sure the president of NGX Group is going to get this information. And of course, this will be able to be passed down the organization as a whole. This was just our contribution from the point of view of our support an indigenous IT company. And I seize this opportunity to thank every organization and every participant today. And I say thank you. We all won and we all did it together. And I'm grateful that I called and people are here. And I can see quite a number of people still had difficulty. Lucky for them, they are already on the portal. So because you're on the portal, you will not have any problem because this video is in a few minutes will be live on your dashboard and will be there forever. And when you have more courses coming up, there are several certification programs that will be throwing up very soon, and people can be nominated to take up in any of this area, and those ones will have certification, which we do in partnership with several other organizations. The contacts you have on the chat boxes are still there. I can see GSoft Global, a company where that's the contact for the infrastructure. And then there's a link to the IPv6 conference, particularly maybe for the IT people or whoever have interest in that. I'm also part of that. And you've just heard from Chris Waje, he's a co-founder. And you also have the president of IPv6 Global, also co-founding the IPv6 Africa Cybersecurity. I happen to be the chief data officer for that task force.
Thank you, sir. Can you share the link? Can you share the link with the participants here so that we can register?
The link is on the dash on the what's it called? I've shared the link on the chat box. It's there.
Okay.
Yes. So thank you once again. Thank you for your time, and I appreciate how many people that we couldn't talk today. I wanted to see somebody in police uniform, Mr. Fred. You don't want to show your face? Thank you, and please have a pleasant rest of the day. Thank you so very much, sirs.